Napoleon Bonaparte was born on August 15, 1769 in the city of Ajaccio on the island of Corsica. Coming from a fairly wealthy family, Napoleon received a good education. He went to a military academy in France and trained to become an officer in the army. When his father died in 1785, Napoleon returned to Corsica to help manage the family's affairs. While Napoleon was in Corsica, the French Revolution occurred in Paris, France. The people rebelled against the King of France and took control of the country. The royal family and many aristocrats were killed. Upon Napoleon's return, he allied himself with a group of the revolutionaries called the Jacobins. He was appointed artillery commander at the siege of Toulon in 1793. The city of Toulon was occupied by British troops and the British Navy had control over the port. Napoleon came up with a strategy that helped to defeat the British and force them out of the port. His military leadership in the battle was recognized by the leaders of France, and at the young age of 24, he was promoted to the position of brigadier general. In 1796, Napoleon was given command of the French army in Italy. When he arrived in Italy, he found the army poorly organized and losing to the Austrians. However, he used clever tactics and positioning in order to move troops quickly and efficiently around the battlefield. By the way, please like and subscribe for more educational videos. He soon drove the Austrians out of Italy and became a national hero. Napoleon had led a military expedition in Egypt and returned to Paris in 1799. The government in France, called the Directory, was losing power. Napoleon and his allies, including his brother Lucien, formed a new government called the Consulate. Originally, there were supposed to be 3 leaders, but Napoleon made himself the first consul and dictator of France. Napoleon established the Napoleonic Code. This code stated that jobs in the government would be based on skills, not birth or religion. Before that, the king gave top jobs to aristocrats as favors, often resulting in unqualified people in key roles. Napoleon also helped to improve the French economy by building new roads and encouraging commerce. Napoleon also set up non-religious schools so anyone could get an education. In 1812, Napoleon decided to invade Russia, but many of his soldiers starved to death along the way. After a tough battle with the Russian army, Napoleon entered Moscow but found the city empty. As winter approached, Napoleon's army ran out of supplies. He had to return to France, but by the time he got there, most of his army was gone. With much of Napoleon's army lost in the invasion, the rest of Europe now turned against France. Napoleon didn't have a big enough army and was soon forced into exile on the island of Elba in 1814. Napoleon escaped from Elba in 1815. The army quickly backed him and he controlled Paris for a period called the 100 Days. The rest of Europe did not want Napoleon to return. They gathered their armies and defeated him at the Battle of Waterloo on June 18, 1815. Napoleon was once again forced into exile. Napoleon died, probably from stomach cancer, after 6 years of exile on Mount St. Helena on May 5, 1821. Fun facts: the famous composer Beethoven was going to dedicate his 3rd symphony to Napoleon but changed his mind after Napoleon crowned himself emperor. Napoleon was fairly short, at about 5 feet 6 inches. However, he would have been of average height for the time period that he lived. Thank you for watching. Subscribe.